That's gotta hurt. We've all dreamed about what it's like to roll up somewhere in a supercar one that looks like $1,000,000. Oh my god, not like the junk cars that some of us have in our garages gathering dust. Oh no, these exotics are the real deal, the ones you want to be seen in. Oh, and having a gorgeous passenger by your side, optional. Today, I'm gonna show you why these 8 cheapest supercars are the most ideal picks. Then I'll reveal the absolute cheapest one currently for sale in the country. And there's just one rule, it has to have a clean title. Why? Because the girl in your passenger seat can be dirty. But the car's title? That's a hard nut. Stick around until the end of the video because the last car on this list, you can easily buy now. Let's not waste any more time with introductions. Let's get right into it. Top of the list, the Raging Bull. That's right, we're talking about the Lamborghini Gallardo. Even the sound of that purring starter motor is enough to give you goosebumps. And when you turn the key of this exotic V10, well, let's just say things get serious. It will literally take your breath away. The brakes will literally rip your eyes out of your sockets. But come on guys, that's not why you buy a cheap Lambo. You buy it to be seen. And this, working man's Lambo, will fool all the girls into thinking you're a famous player, not on a budget. So the question arises, how cheap can you get one of these Raging Bulls? Before you take a look at this Lambo, you can get for $47,000. See how you can get a very cheap car and look like you have 20 companies? It is known for its aggressive design and powerful V10 engine, which offers between 500 and 570 horsepower depending on the version. With rear or all-wheel drive options and manual or automatic transmissions, the Gallardo combines luxury and sportiness, making it one of Lamborghini's best-selling models. The next car I want to tell you about is a Japanese car, which I know you already know what it is. Your mind right now will be saying, my god, this is a great car that should be worth 3 times as much. I don't understand how it's so cheap. Indeed, I'm talking about the Nissan GTR R35, the car that has the name of a monster called Godzilla. Look, this GTR is selling right now for $52,990. Let's collect money in the comments and raffle it off later. Just kidding, although it wouldn't be bad at all. Honestly, this is the car that I personally like the most. But well, what am I gonna tell you about this beast? It has a 3.8-liter twin-turbo V6 engine that, depending on the model and year, produces between 480 and more than 600 horsepower. The GTR is famous for its ability to compete with much more expensive supercars, all while offering relative practicality and Japanese reliability. It is a symbol of innovative engineering and an icon in the world of performance cars. Its all-wheel drive system and 6-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission guarantee brutal acceleration and exceptional handling. Anyway, a pity that this car is worth so little for what it is. I'll do a review of this car when I buy it. And you want to look like the best player? Then get a Maserati Gran Turismo surprised. Did you know that this car is one of the most undervalued cars in the world? Well, in general, any Maserati devalues a lot, but well, if we buy it cheap, it won't devalue as much as if we buy it from the dealer. This is amazing for you because you will look like a millionaire in a car that is cheaper than you think. And the rumble of that exotic V8 is like hearing angels coming down from heaven and singing. God, that sounds good. It's wonderful. And you'll be singing the tune too, because everything about this Maserati screams money with authentic racing genes and unmistakably good looks. And will it cost you to maintain it? Absolutely, but you'll be fake rich with this car. Now, all kidding aside, it's a car that if you'll like the sound so much, you'll forget about looking rich or poor. You'll keep it for the sound. I drove one for 2,000 miles on a road trip through California, and the sound is the best thing about this car. The power too, but it's not an exaggeration either. What I really disliked the most about this car was that it was scraping along the ground, as there are some roads in the US that are very poorly built, and at the end of the day, you suffered when you heard everything crunching. The chassis of this car is that of a normal sedan. It is not a car for curbs, of course, but for highway, it is the best. But don't look at the fuel consumption of the car. It's crazy. If I tell you that the next car became famous for several movies, which one would you believe I'm telling you? The R34 Skyline? No, that one certainly isn't cheap. A Toyota Supra? It's not cheap either. In fact, with the price of a Supra, I could buy a house. Well, maybe if I tell you that it is a car created in the United Kingdom and the movies in which they appear are robberies. Okay, if you don't know, I don't know what else to tell you. It is indeed the Aston Martin Vantage. The Aston Martin Vantage is like the secret spy of sports cars. Sophisticated, fast, and with style that could melt a martini. This blue-blooded Brit combines handcrafted luxury with raw power, all while seeming to be saying, yes, I'm handsome, but I can also win races. You can find one like this for $26,995 on top roadsters, so when you're out with friends, they can flex that the driver is wearing an Aston Martin. Under its sleek hood, the Vantage hides an engine that can be a twin-turbo V8 in the latest generation, or a V12 in the craziest versions, with power ranging from 503 to a chilling 700 HP in special editions. The sound? A symphony of pure adrenaline that makes you feel like James Bond in Hot Pursuit. And while it has the glamour of a bespoke suit, it's no slouch in performance. With rear-wheel drive and driving dynamics tuned for epic corners, the Vantage is as much a baller as it is a fighter. It's the perfect car to make a grand entrance, whether at a gala or on a racetrack. In short, the Aston Martin Vantage isn't just a car, it's a statement. One that screams, yes, I have style, but I also know how to have fun. The next car is a car that everyone liked when I was little. It was the one we all wanted to buy. Also in GTA 5, you could also have it, so surely you have driven it sometime in your life, either in the video game or in real life. It is a German car known by 4 rings that has its logo. It is indeed Audi, but now think what Audi car looks like a sports car but is cheap. Not the RS3, it is more or less cheap, but we are looking for something sportier. I'm sure it's given you enough time to think it's the Audi R8. Look at this R8 that sells for $54,497. Alright, it will be very cheap, but what's so special about this car? This car has a spectacular chassis for cornering, plus a super famous Audi Quattro drive system that will make this car grip the corners like crazy. The Audi R8 is the kind of car that enters the party and immediately everyone looks at it. It's not just good looking, it also has the muscle and attitude of someone who knows it's the life of the party. This German supercar is basically a Lamborghini dressed up in a fancy suit thanks to sharing its V10 engine with the Lamborghini Huracan. Power? Oh sure, you'll love it. Up to 602 horsepower of pure fury in the most powerful versions. And if you think that sounds good, wait until you hear the engine roar. It's as if a lion has its own rock band. Oh, and if you're lucky enough to go flat out, you can go from 0 to 60 mph in less than 3 seconds. Yes, 3 seconds. But the R8 isn't just about speed. Thanks to its Quattro all-wheel drive and perfectly tuned chassis, it's like a professional dancer in the corners, smooth and agile, but always ready to show its strength. And here's the best part, despite being a supercar, it doesn't rip your back out at every bump. It has enough comfort and technology for you to use it on a daily basis, if you dare to take it out of the garage, of course. In short, the Audi R8 is like that perfect friend. Handsome, strong, fun, and always ready for an adventure. Who wouldn't want one? It's finally time to tell you about the car I've been looking forward to so much. However, I don't think you have heard much about this car, as it is not as normal as you think, but it's still fast as hell and also rare. Let's imagine for a moment the idea of building a supercar in the garage of your house to go out at night with your friends. Well, this is not a dream. The car I am talking about, the RRs01, manufactured by the Rhino Racing brand, located in Lithuania, an European country. You've probably never heard of the RR01, but let me tell you, it's a car that stands out for being as rare as it is powerful. Designed as a passion project, it is a supercar that blends cutting-edge technology with raw performance. But the most surprising thing is its price. This supercar costs only $35,191. That's cheaper than a new Toyota Prius. However, the thing does not end here, because as I said before, this car comes to you in pieces and you can assemble it yourself as if they were Lego pieces. You can add the engine and transmission you want, although for $10,000 more, it comes with a V10 engine with more than 600 horsepower from an Audi R8.